لا إله إلا الله إن الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا ما أحييتنا اللهم واجعله الوارث منا واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا وانصرنا اللهم على من عادانا اللهم ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا اللهم ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا يا رب العالمين. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وعنا معهم إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to him, and peace and blessings be upon his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I do bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. Respected brothers and sisters in Islam and in Iman, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's khutbah will be about let's not blame anyone except ourselves. This talk will be about this amazing device that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given for every single soul, every single person to realize what is right and what is wrong, to be able to distinguish between haqq and batil, between truthfulness and falsehood, so that the concept of what we call in Islamic terminology iqamatul hujjah, to establish the argument against myself when I stand before my Lord in the day of judgment, whether I was a Muslim or a non-Muslim. This is the core of our topic today. Now, in the introduction, I need to highlight the following quick two concepts. Now, human beings by nature, they love always to create excuses for themselves, to defend themselves when they fall short, in general. And we can witness this since we are small kids, and we can see this in our kids. Whatever anyone does, even if he is on the spot doing the thing, the denial, the defense, the protection, it's by default. We always like to protect ourselves by creating the excuse. It's as if, I want to say it, it's like a self-mechanism system, self-defense mechanism system, which is good for a certain level. But when it's misused to create excuses for the things that we are sure from it, but we deny it, this could be an act of kufr. Because kufr basically is what? It's the denial, rejection. Rejection what? What I know. Denial of what? Denial of what I know. So, now, in the second point of my introduction, in light of this small introduction, let's go to what we call the context of being held responsible in the day of judgment when we stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, I have three verses. We all know them as Muslims. We recite them. Many of us, maybe they do memorize them by heart. But let's connect these three verses together and highlight the core message of the three verses. Verse number 1, فطرة الله فأقم وجهك للدين حنيفا فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها لا تبديل لخلق الله. Number 1, I'll translate them. Second one, ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها. The third one is ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين. We have other tens of verses. One of the most powerful 3 verses. Number 1, فأقم وجهك للدين حنيفا فطرة الله. Allah is talking about the concept of fitra, the inner nature, the instinct. Allah says literally in the Quran, so be steadfast in faith, in all uprightness, O prophets, the natural way of Allah which He has instilled in all people. The nature, the natural way, the inner nature, the built-in divine system. We all have it by birth from Allah as a common ground. That's why when some people, poor people, when they say we believe in the religion of humanity, there is no religion for humanity. There is a fitra from the creator of humanity, which is I'm talking about now. That's why we have a common ground for many things. It's because of this fitra. It's a built-in system. It's not, has nothing to do with our design. We do not interfere in this. But later we can change or corrupt or destroy. But it comes by default from, if I may put it metaphorically, from the manufacturer. It comes. So fitrat Allah allati, we are talking about human being. We are not talking about Muslims or believers. Number 1. Number 2. Allah, in the context of talking about the man, the human being, al-insan, Bani Adam, He says, أَلَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْنِ وَلِسَانًا وَشَفَتَيْنِ وَهَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجِدَيْنِ. Have we not given them, him, her, 2 eyes, a tongue and 2 lips, and shown them the 2 ways of right and wrong? The built-in system. Another confirmation for the concept. The third one, وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. And by the soul and the one who fashioned it, the knowledge of right and wrong inspired in it. Successful indeed is the one who purifies his or her or their souls, doomed the one who corrupts it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us clearly that I've created you, O my servants, with a built-in system to give you the ability to realize, to distinguish, to understand, to feel, to know what is right and what is wrong, by the way, with its basics. I'm not talking about the high complicated things. We're not comparing with between 2 punishment laws with the very details in the court. We're talking about the basics, and I will give you examples about this. That's why we believe as Muslims that everyone will, or most of the people who received the message, they will be held accountable because of the Qanun al-Fitra, because they realize. Now, look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has favored us, all of us. The Fitra, or the common ground. Now, by birth, by default, we all love anyone who says the truth. Can anyone tells me how we all love the one who says the truth? Why? Why we admire the trustworthy person? Do we have this as education, or something by nature? We love the courage, we love the brave person. How? It's not something that we receive through education or through nurture. It's by nature. We love the brave person. We love the one who says the truth. By nature, we all agree that lying is something bad. There is no normal human being but will agree that lying is bad. Maybe he will be a liar, but he realizes inside himself that lying is bad. I'm not discussing whether I'm doing or I'm not doing. This is another file to be discussed. I'm talking, do I realize by default that lying is bad or not? Do I realize by default that cheating is bad? Negative. Just call it whatever you want. Put any name, any sound for it. But it's something hated, rejected, not good, bad, negative, whatever. In any language, it's something that is not good. Cheating, lying. Now, in the contrary, the other side. Now, don't we agree that we love by nature anyone who smiles in our faces? How did we acquire this? By education or by nature? By nature. Anyone who smiles in your face, you feel happy. Anyone who tries to look at you like this, okay, there's a reason. If there's a reason, but it's not something good. It's not something we take it, we confirm it. Okay, here comes the relation between the nature and the religion. And here comes the tricky point that some people, they try to play the game with the philosophical idea of ultimate relativism. You know, because we are living in a materialistic world, in a very tough secular world, sometimes, you know, the ideas of atheism, agnosticism, you know, secularism, they are pushing the people towards the idea, you know, this is from your point of view, this is my point of view, don't interfere in my business, I don't interfere in your business. What do you think about this? I think it's good, I think it's bad. Okay, your point of view, my point of view, your point, mine, your mine, so there is nothing to agree upon, which is a big mistake, and it kills the nature that Allah has embedded us with. Don't we agree that lying is bad? Don't we agree that respecting parents is something good? Don't we agree that if someone did cheat you in any transactions, money, dealings, you will feel horrible and very bad? Definitely yes. So we can't destroy the nature. And if someone did it, he will be called, it will be called corruption, fasad. We might be corrupting even the human nature. Now, because of that, Prophet Muhammad said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. Prophet Muhammad said, very indeed, I have not sent but to complete, to perfect the nobility of ethics, not to create it, not to bring it from the very beginning. No. By nature, we realize makarim al-akhlaq. By nature, even before we speak, one of the big evidences, common sense, logical evidence for what I'm saying, the body language and the face expressions. Do we have lessons in the body language? Or we realize it by nature? By nature. That's what we call it. You know, I know that he hates me. Did he tell you? No. But his body language tells me. I know that he's a very generous person. How did you know? His face expressions and his body language. I know, we know, it is part of the education now, part of what you teach, what we improve, the skills of the body language and the face expressions. And those who know in the field of education, they know around 93% of influence on the human being is not for the content, it's for body language and face expressions. So Allah created us in a way, by default, basic minimum requirement of realizing good, bad, right, wrong, white, dark, it's by default. What is the role of religion? To perfect. وأتممت عليكم أكملت لكم اليوم أكملت لكم اليوم أتممت عليكم. It's the perfection. It comes to complete. It does not. So we are born with the ability and the capacity and the capability to receive, to realize, to know. Next step, now we have the perfection of the best software for our system, which is the true religion. It comes to fix to tune with the very accurate best results. وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. The example that I always repeat. This is the hardware, our bodies. Inside the hardware we have the operating system, like the Windows. It is the fitra that I was talking about now. The fitra, which is the software, which is the operating system like the Windows, needs other software such as the Office. We are in need for the Word, the Excel sheets, the PowerPoint. We are in need for Adobe system, for example. We need the Photoshop, the Adobe Premiere, Adobe Photoshop. وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. We can't use these softwares without the operating system, the Windows. So the Windows must come by default with the hardware, or otherwise you can't make any benefit of the Photoshop or the Excel sheet. So if you have the operating system without other softwares, the benefit is so limited, which is nothing. You can't even type one page, but you have the operating system. So this is the religion. Software. Now, this software can be authentic and genuine and can be a false one. So if you used something without the true, genuine serial number from the manufacturer with the antivirus, you will be infected, and at the time it might destroy your system. And this is the example of the false religion, i.e. the false software, i.e. the false system. It works for a while, but just Allah knows, and you yourself will discover later what kind of destruction has been, working within yourself, but sometimes it will be so late. For example, the software that I adapted, it tells me my body is my property. I'm ready to do whatever I wish. So no problem with alcohol, no problem with drugs, no problem with homosexuality, no problem with blah, 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 whatever. Then I discovered that a lot of diseases, a lot of problems, a lot of destruction with my body. According to the creator, the manufacturer, revealed to me, don't drink alcohol. It destroys the most important device that takes care of the full body, which is your brain, the power of intellect. I did not listen to the original, authentic system, divine software. So I destroyed my hardware and my operating system. But once I discover this, it will be too late. That's why we must keep telling the people about the authentic, only authentic, divine software, i.e. Islam, which comes compatible completely with their operating system. People, they need to know that. First step, let's visualize this. Let them see this as a practical application to love using our software. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. إن الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. What I have highlighted, respected brothers and sisters, works in two parallel lines. It works as an argument against the non-believer because he has the basic needed requirement to realize that this system is true or not. And it works as a hujjah, as an argument against the believer who tries to close his eyes from the regulation that he is already aware of, but for some kind of desires, whatever, some kind of hatred, he tries, or I try, we try to close our eyes. End result, none of us will be held accountable but with a full iqamat hujjah in the day of judgment. Allah is justice. He's not just, it's not an adjective. His name is justice. He is al-adl. Be aware. If you know, there is accountability. If you realize, there is accountability. None of us, neither me nor you, none of us will be able to escape from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Believers and non-believers, because of this. So let's prepare ourselves, really. Let's review this beautiful, amazing, powerful, inner device, i.e. الفطرة. فأقم وجهك للدين حنيفة فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها. Go and read these 3 verses. فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها. ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين. And قوله تعالى ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها. Let them be your home task for the coming week against yourself, and try to review how to reschedule your way of thinking between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you and your family, your husband, your wife, your kids, and between you and everyone else from the non-believers, to help them to come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. اللهم ارحمنا واغفر لنا وعافنا واعف عنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم ارحمنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض ويوم العرض عليك يا ربنا يا عظيم يا كريم يا حنان يا منان يا عفو يا غفور يا ودود يا حليم يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا عبيدك أبناء عبيدك أبناء إمائك نواصينا بيدك ماض فينا حكمك عدل فينا قضاؤك. نسألك بكل اسم هو لك سميت به نفسك أو أنزلته في كتابك أو علمته أحدا من خلقك أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك أن تجعل القرآن العظيم ربيع قلوبنا وجلاء أحزاننا وذهاب همومنا وغمومنا يا رب العالمين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وأقم الصلاة.